This is the pre-show. So this is where I come in about 5 minutes early and just kind of listen to you guys for a few minutes and see where you're coming in from, just to say hi. I realized that I made a mistake. I forgot to schedule this live broadcast. So so I'm not sure if you even got alerted about the broadcast, anything like that. But yes, as usual, I'm jumping in 5 minutes early just to kind of see where you guys are coming in from, just to say hi, see what you guys are up to. And if you have any video graphics questions related to Keynote or Canva or just general graphics type questions for your videos, you can start jumping in with those now after you say hi and let me know where you're coming in from. As I said, I completely forgot to schedule this live broadcast. So today, in that instance, what I decided to do was to jump into the extra channels beyond what I usually jump in on. I'm usually only on my YouTube channel and the Ecam YouTube channel. But today, like I did last week, I'm going to jump in on the Ecam Facebook group and on my Video Graphics for Live Streamers Facebook group. So say, hey, let me know where you're coming in from. And even if you want to let me know what page or channel you're coming in from, that would be cool too. But this is like the 5-minute countdown warning to the actual live workshop. All right, I see people coming in. So I guess the technology is working. That's always a great sign. All right, so I'm going to add the chat to the screen here, so I don't have to keep pulling you guys in. Let's see who's in the house. All right. I guess I need to do that before you start chatting, and then that way they'll show up. Here we are. Okay, we got a Facebook user from Aurora, Colorado coming in from Facebook, Mississippi from Facebook. All right. You guys are flying in here today. So thank you all for coming in. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Yeah, I have some people that say Facebook user. You probably have a link in the description, hopefully, that invites you to sign up for it. I am using Restream because I'm going to multiple sources, and I use Restream Studio to go out to all the multiple sources that I do my workshop with. I'm using eCamm as my virtual camera to bring in some of the things from eCamm, but I'm using Restream as the apparatus to send it out to multiple places. So thank you all for coming in. Oh, wow. Got somebody coming in from South Africa. Wow. Okay. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate that. This is just the wind up for the event. Instead of a countdown timer, I just jump in live 5 minutes early to say hi, see what y'all are up to, and to get y'all warmed up, get the crowd warmed up, get y'all ready to do some learning and workshopping. So that's what I'm doing right now. Got somebody else from Big D. I'm also from Dallas. I'm guessing that's the Big D they're talking about, or maybe it could be Detroit. Who knows? Cool. Thank you for that. Facebook user that said click here so I can see them. Appreciate that. I need to add that to the description from here on out. But like I said, y'all that are coming in right now, I forgot to schedule this live. So I am extremely happy that you all are here with me and steadily coming in, even though I didn't schedule this. So I am awesome with that. All right, we have a question. Cool. Rob Hitch with that question. I will jump into that. Likely you may not be happy with my answer for that, but there's other things that you might be able to do. But I will definitely answer that one. So Rob, you are definitely in the queue, and I'll scroll back to get that question when our session starts. All right, y'all. We are actually at 2 o'clock right now. So again, I am Bradley Vinson of Bradley Teaches, and welcome to the eCamm Video Graphics Workshop hosted by yours truly, Bradley Vinson, aka Bradley Teaches, aka Alana's Pawpaw. All right, so welcome. Thank you all for coming. The first thing I'm going to do, as always, is to welcome you all. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, I mean, I'm coming in. You're actually seeing me right now through Restream. You're not seeing me through eCamm. Restream has its own permission link that you have to click on for you to work with Restream. So I'll make sure I add that to the next description or comments that I do, and make sure you click that link. And then from here on out, you should be locked in. It seems as though it automatically works with YouTube, but Facebook changes things, that sometimes the software doesn't keep up, or something that worked last week doesn't work this week. But I see that you're here, and I hate that I can't see your name, but I thank you for being in the house with me, Facebook people. Okay, so let me scroll through right now. We're going to go to the first question I had. So if you have a question, put a Q in front of your comment, or put question in front of your comment. And I'm going to answer as many as I can today. I'll come back to this one about the rotating lower banner, but I had Rich's question. Let me get down here to it. Here we go. And I'm going to show this one. And let me pull out of the chat full screen thing. There we go. All right. I have a square logo, which I want to turn into a looping rotating cube. How can I achieve this via Keynote? Okay, Rich, I'm going to jump into Keynote right now, but you may not be completely happy with my answer. So I'm going to let you know right up front that you cannot have a three-dimensional cube rotating in Keynote. But there's something else that you may be able to live with. So let's go into it right now. My presentation, and select everything, delete. And I'm going to make a shape of a square. Let's make that blue. And we're going to put an icon on it like it's your logo, okay? So let's go to education, and you're the scissor guy. All right. Okay, so here's your logo on a square. Like I said, there's no three-dimensional thing you can do. I'm going to select all these and group them. But there are different animations you can do, like flipping animations and things like that. So let's go to animate, build in, and flip is an animation that can work, but it's not going to be a square, right? So you kind of have that kind of flip. Let's go here, and we're going to change it to 2 seconds, preview it. So you have that kind of animation where it'll flip or kind of have a rotating type thing. You can also do an action where it flips, and you can set the number of flips and how fast, right? So if I did 10 flips and I did it for 10 seconds, it would slowly flip for 10 seconds, right? So you can do something like that. So there's different things you can do. You can't do a three-dimensional square. So hopefully that is something that can be agreeable for you. But yeah, but that's what you can do in Keynote, either as a build in, build out, or as an action that just does something after it's already on the screen. So there's ways to do that, okay? So hopefully that was helpful, Rob Hitch. Hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, but there's no three-dimensional square animation. All right. This is a very popular question. How am I doing my rotating lower banner? What I call the Bradley bubble, right? I show that almost every week because someone asks about it every week. I'm not going to necessarily show it again today, but all that is, in a general sense, this is my Bradley bubble here, and let me go turn it off so I won't be building on top of the same bubble again. So I'll turn it off, right? And here in Keynote, this is basically what it is, right? It's a curved box. And let me zoom out. Okay, so that's the basics of it, right? A curved box, like you see here. Let me put it on the other side so I'm out of the way. All right, a curved box, and let's add a color to it. And then all I do is add the things to the box that I want to animate. So the box that you see of my lower bubble it starts off with the bar already on the screen. So all I do now is I go over here to object list and I add text. So we'll say text one. I said I wasn't going to do this again, but I'm doing it again. All right. So text number one. See it? You can add icons or whatever other stuff you want to it. And then I just animate it in. I think I have it pop in. Right? So that's my first text. Pops in. Good. Done, right? So the next thing I do is I actually copy the text and the rounded shape. And now this layer here is my next set of bubbles. So I'll select both of those and group them. The bubble I will make blue. And just for grins, I'm gonna leave the same text. I'll make it text 2. And I'll make it white. Right? But now instead of just having the text pop in, I'm gonna have this whole group wipe in. So I click on the group, animate, build in, wipe. Right? Then all I have to do then is copy that same group, option drag, and I'll drag it to the top. Now this is if my bubble is going to keep changing colors, just to show you what it would look like differently, right? Make it green, make that text 3, and we're going to wipe this one in too. Animate, wipe, change direction, right? So let's go to build order, and you see each one. Text comes in, blue group, and green group. Right, so let's preview it. Starts off with that. Oh, we didn't do the pop text. Let's go back. Text was on the bottom, so it can't pop. All right, there we go. Let's go back to the text. Animate, build in, pop, and drag it to the top. There we go. All right, preview. Text pops in. B group wipes in. G group wipes in. After build 1. After build 2. I'm going to put a little bit of delay on them so you can have time to see them. All right, now preview, pop in, slide, right? So that's basically my lower bubble, is that kind of thing, right? It's 3 or more layers, and each thing just kind of wipes in back and forth. And that's the animation of what I call my Bradley bubble. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me scroll back through here to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Yeah, so Facebook user, not sure who you are, but please let me know if that was helpful to you. That's a little Bradley bubble animation. All right. How did I put restream on the screen? Not sure what you mean. I'm using eCamm as a virtual camera into Restream. And so Restream is what's being broadcast. I'm coming through Restream to broadcast out to you. It's just like using Zoom, right? So I use my eCamm as a camera in Zoom, but Zoom is the apparatus that everybody's going to be viewing the video through. So hopefully that answers your question, what you're asking. All right, did that. Hey, Mr. Ryder from Inglewood, West Virginia in the house. Okay, cool. Yeah, there is a cube effect as a transition, but you want your square to look like a cube. It's not the same thing. It's not that three-dimensional kind of look. It kind of just moves the screen kind of thing, which you can bring in the eCamm and reduce down to a smaller thing, but it's not going to look right because you don't have the transparency because it brings black with it for the cube transition. Um, cool, cool. I'm hoping you were talking about the Bradley bubble, so hopefully that answered your question for you. Um, awesome. Cool, cool. Mr. Lead Attorney. Okay. Um, yeah, I am not actually using Restream to shoot this video per se. The video is coming from eCamm into Restream, and then I'm pushing it out to 4 sources from Restream. So Restream is like the end product I'm using to push it out. Kind of like what I said, I'm using Zoom, right? So eCamm is my camera in this instance. So everything you see on screen right now outside of your comment is actually coming from eCamm. I'm just using Restream to push it out to you. So right now, this is eCamm you're looking at right now. This is all eCamm that's being fed to the screen. All right. Let's turn that back on and go back to my regular screen. All right, y'all. So yeah, so let me know if you have any more questions about anything. I know I covered this yesterday already. We did some green screen Keynote stuff that went pretty well. People were asking questions about that in the eCamm group, and I covered that in a pop-up tutorial yesterday. So I'm not sure if anybody ran into any issues with that or any issues with any other kind of stuff. So just let me know. Let's see. Okay, appreciate that, the lead attorney. And I'm going to go back and add your chats back to the screen now while we're in full screen mode. Yeah, so let me know if you have any more questions or comments about anything, and I will address those. And like I said, I have added Canva to the mix now. And if you all look at my YouTube channel, if that might be where you happen to be looking at me from now, there's a new YouTube tutorial that I did on some other Canva stuff, right? Making thumbnails with Canva and stuff like that. So you'll be able to find those there. But if you have any questions, let me know. And sometimes I get questions in my DM. People send them to DM anyway. So let me go to my DM real quick. Heard a man over there. But I definitely appreciate y'all being in the house with me. So I don't have an agenda. The agenda is always driven by you. So do I ever have any problems with latency between eCamm, video, and your audio? I don't know. Am I coming through right now? Are my lips and my sound coming through together? I rarely have latency when I come across platforms. Now, here's something that I do because right now, I'm not sure what quality the video looks on your end right now, but I'm using a prime lens that's extremely sharp, blurry background, but I'm only pushing this out at 720, right? I'm not doing 4K. I'm not doing 1080. I'm pushing out at 720. And I do that especially when I'm going across platforms because I don't want the latency to be built in at the front end of what I'm doing. Now, if I'm only going through one app out to the internet, I may do 1080p. But right now, I'm doing 720, and I like the quality that I'm actually broadcasting right now, what I see on my screen. I'm not sure if you're seeing the same level on your screen, but even here in my confidence monitor, it's razor sharp with a blurry background with no latency that I can tell. As I'm speaking, my lips are moving on the screen. There's no delay, so I think we're good. Awesome, awesome. Appreciate that purchase. Thank you for supporting me. I'm always very thankful for those that support me, and even thankful for those that don't support me. It's fine. I just do this to serve, and help you all out and to empower you to make your own graphics and to enhance your videos, right? And if you decide to buy something to help enhance your videos that you can edit yourself later, I'm happy with that too. So I appreciate that. All right, y'all. Let's see. All right, Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but yeah, I appreciate that. That Keynote is a great resource. If there's something that you are, I don't use, I hate to use the word struggle, something you're working on right now, something that you're trying to workshop through, let me know what it is. That's what this workshop hour is for. Let me know some graphics you're working on. Let me know something you might want to learn, something you might have run into, something you might have seen somewhere else that you're interested in trying to make happen for yourself. Shoot it over here and let's make it happen. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jillian. Yeah, I'm going to get that straightened out with the Facebook user thing. I thought I had that already, but I'm going to make sure that's good. Next, I'm going to do a test run and get everybody in. Then I think it'll actually kick it up. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Wow, we have somebody from Sweden. Let me see. Looking for a logo for my YouTube channel. Where is a good place to go to get one made? Okay. A logo to use for your YouTube channel banner. Is that what you're saying? There's a lot of places to do stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of different places to do that. I mean, there's freelancers that can do it for you. There's other graphic designers. There's the freelance websites like Fiverr and things. But if you don't, branding and a logo, they're kind of the same thing, but you don't need a logo per se on your YouTube channel if you don't already have a logo, right? You can just say who you are, the lead attorney, and with a tagline or what you do. Usually, your YouTube banner is best utilized, yes, to say who you are, but to say who you're serving and what you do. That's a really good use of your YouTube banner. So if you've been operating this long without a logo, you may not necessarily need a logo mark. You can just use text to say who you are with a picture of yourself or some kind of icon that shows law, different things that people might bring to mind when they think of attorney, things like that. Yeah, but there's a lot of places to do that. I design my own stuff, so I don't really know, hey, call up this person to do you a logo, because I've always done all my own graphics. Yeah, but places like Fiverr, freelance sites, different things like that can definitely do that for you. Um, no, you cannot use eCamm to multi-stream. Anything past one source is a multi-stream. So eCamm cannot do that as of today. And I don't want to speak about what might happen in the future of eCamm. But yeah, but they don't do multi-streaming as it stands right now. You pick where you want to go and you push out to that. Now, I can push to a single source, then share to another source, then share to another source, and then they're in these multiple places. So there's another way to do it. Yeah, but just right inside the software itself, you cannot pick multiple sources to output to at one time. Um, yeah, to stream out to multiple sources, you're going to need software like what I'm using right now, which is Restream. Restream, I think the free version lets you, I'm not sure how many places it lets you go out to. I have the pro version. But yeah, you can pick out multiple sources, and there's just basically a toggle switch that you say, I want it to go to these places and not to these places that are in my account. So Restream is a multi-streaming platform. That was its bread and butter, but they're adding more features. Ecam is live streaming and recording software, not multi-streaming software. Um, yeah, I mean, if you can reach more people by going to one source, then as that's playing, like when I did my 5-minute intro, I could be jumping on Facebook and sharing that stream to other places. You can do it manually, right? And then you're in one apparatus, and then you have one original with multi copies. The issue with that, though, is if people are making comments, you would need someone on all those other pages looking at those comments and feeding them to you some kind of way so you can respond. Because if whatever was the main source that I went out to through eCamm, those are the only comments I'm going to get. Restream, if I output to 5 sources, all 5 of those sources are bringing their comments in right now. Even though some of you say Facebook user, I think that's more my issue than Restream's issue. Yeah, but everybody from every source I'm outputting to right now, your comments are coming into the stream. So yeah. Okay. How do you add your magic move lower third? How do you add your magic move lower third to your broadcast? Do you use another scene or build in a time delay in opening your scene? Yeah, I mean, it depends on when you want that lower third to play. So let's jump back into, turn the chat off, go to full screen, and let's jump back into Keynote. So say for instance, let me make this background transparent, color fill, no fill. So if I have a lower third and my lower third starts off as a square, I'm going to copy paste. And then on the second screen, I'm going to stretch out the square and put my name in it. All right, Bradley teaches 45. We're just doing this quick and easy. All right. So this will be a magic move animation. First slide is just a square. Second slide, same square and my name. So if I go to the first one, animate, and go to magic move, that's what happens, right? So now if I export this as a transparent background MOV file or not HVAC, HEVC file, right? Bring that into eCamm, that's going to play automatically when I eyeball it on, right? So if I go here now, I want to go to File, Export to, Movie, and I'm going to use Apple ProRes 4444. I'm going to do all slides, right? And 00. Self-playing all slides, next. And I'm going to, let's call it that. Okay, export. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is go back to eCamm, go find what I did, and drag it in. Right, so it automatically played as soon as I put it in. So now if let me scale it down some. Okay, so eyeball off, nothing happens. Eyeball on, it automatically plays. And that's the magic move, right? If I want a delay in front of that, I can plug in, if I go back to Keynote, right here, when I'm making the magic move, I can start the transition on a delay. So automatically, and I can say 6 seconds, right? So now when I save that animation, it's going to have a 6-second buffer in the front of it built in. So even though I eyeball click it on, it's going to wait for 6 seconds, then happen, right? So, but the square is going to be there the whole time, right? Because it starts off with the square on the screen. So that's how that works. So you can use magic move animations, but any overlay that you have will automatically play as soon as you click on the eyeball, unless there's a built-in buffer of time in front of it. Now, there are other things to do to make that happen. And if you all want to if you want to jump into, if you don't mind real quick, let me go down here. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me answer this other question. All right. Do you use another scene? Yeah, I could put a time delay on it. I can also build another scene. So I have my first scene and I could put an invisible timer on it, right? Then after that invisible timer goes through its time, I have a duplicate scene right behind it. Timer goes off, second scene starts that has that overlay on it. And I can show you that real quick if you want to see something like that. Let me know if you want to see me do the invisible timer overlay thing, and I can do that for you too. And while I'm waiting for your answer for that, I'll answer this next question. All right, so let's see what we have here. When using eCamm, there's a black bar on either side of the picture on my default camera. Yeah, if your camera is getting a square source, it may not be coming in widescreen. So is it 4:3? Then there's black on either side to make up the rest of the 16:9. Yeah, 16:9. 9:6. I don't know. Yeah, 16:9. Is that what's going on? Does your video look square? That could be it. So make sure that it's actually widescreen. Okay. Yeah. So let me show you how to do. I'm guessing that you mean the invisible timer thing. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. All right. So invisible timer. Let's go back to main screen here. And what I'm going to do, I got to do a little tidying up real quick. Let me turn off all my desktop icons and turn on. Okay. And let me turn on live demo mode. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my whole screen right now. And what I'm going, let me get this extra stuff off the screen. All right, so what I'm going to do is show you the invisible timer overlay automatic switch thing. All right, so here's the scene I'm on right now, and I'm going to make a copy of this scene. All right, so this is the first scene I'm on. This is the second scene. The second scene will have the animation. The first scene, I will turn off the animation, right? So these are my two scenes right here. The first scene, I'm going to add a countdown timer. So I'm going to click on the 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to have a timer. Let's make the timer 15 seconds, 0 minutes. Countdown amount of time, auto start, go to next scene when finished. I'm gonna go to add because I want it to be big so I can easily click it. I'm gonna show you it working first, and then I'm gonna show you one more thing. So this is my 15-second timer. The next scene, which is the same look. See, I just switched scenes, same look, but it has the overlay on it. So that's that 15-second delay for that overlay, right? Now, let's go back to the first scene again. I'm going to click on the timer, but now I want to highlight it. Well, I don't need to highlight that. Yeah. And over here in colors, right? I pick the color, which is white. I'm going to drag the opacity down to 0. So now that timer is invisible. Click save, and there we go. So now that, this one. I put the timer on the wrong one. All right, go back here. That's why I have duplicate scenes. All right, and drag it down to 0. Save. All right, so here's the first scene. Timer's going to run down, and it's invisible now. Now, the reason I made it big, and so it could be easy for me to click it if I want to edit it, right? So that's why I make the timer real big, and I know roughly where it is, right? So there we go. Went to the next scene. timer is there, and it played. And so I can click over here. See, now it's easy for me to click that timer because it's big, right? So, and because it's invisible, you can make it as kind of as big as you want it to make it easy to find it, right? So there we go. So that's how you would do that. 2 duplicate scenes, 1 scene with nothing on it, the next scene with the overlay you want on it. First scene, timer runs. At the end of timer, go to next scene. Second scene pops up, and it's pretty much, you can't tell it happened. And then the overlay happens. Now, I have what I call a mid-roll call to action. Oh, I had a timer on that one too. I have a mid-roll. Let's exit out of that because I don't want to do it anymore. I have a mid-roll call to action. So this, right? This is my call to action that I might want to come up 5 minutes after I start my video, right? In that case, I would start off with the folder and I would put new scenes in the folder. So here's the other scene. Let's see if I can move that in there. So that's now inside the folder. I'm going to copy that one. All right. So first scene. And let's turn that off. Turn off static. All right. So first scene, second scene. Turn it up, turn off static. All right. So first scene, go to the first scene. I don't want that on either, right? Because that's my blank one. Second scene, I'm going to turn on my mid-roll call to action. Okay, turn it off. Second scene, turn it on. Okay. So now how this runs, because these 2 things are in the same folder, and if I put a blank timer on both of these, they'll just rotate with each other, right? So the first one doesn't have the mid-roll. The second one has the mid-roll, but then after that timer is over, it goes back to the first scene. So here's the first scene. Add a timer. And I would do this 10 minutes instead, right? But for this case, I'm going to make it 10 seconds. 10 seconds, go to next scene. Let's do that again. All right, 10 seconds, go to next scene. This one, I'm going to do. Oh, that's why. That's why. Okay. First one already had a timer on it. 10 seconds, go to next scene. The second timer, I'm going to do 15 seconds, go to next scene. So what happens now? First scene plays, 10 seconds go by, mid-roll plays, 10 seconds go by, it goes back to the first scene. And because they're in a folder, as you saw those things move, right? I put my mouse there so you could see them. As those things move, they only rotate with each other. So that's an easy way to have kind of a mid-roll animation or a commercial that plays periodically throughout your broadcast without you having to put your hands on it. It's a real easy thing to do, and it just kind of works that way, right? There we go. So it's just an easier thing to do. And I can sit here now, talk to you, be doing my class, everything's working great. And then all of a sudden the commercial pops up and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to click anything. I just kind of keep talking and just kind of work through my stuff, right? And so as those different parts work, the different things will work, right? All right, so let's see, maybe some questions came in as I was doing all that. All right, let's see. Yep, the hidden timer. How can I make this overlay with the name? Not sure what you, you're talking about the green one? Let me know which one you're talking about. The magic move overlay, that's the easy one I can try to make again. Right, for sure. I mean, because you can kind of put those things together and use your graphics to enhance what you're doing, right? And that's just another way to kind of make those things work for you. So I'll start. And what I'll do here is I'll turn that up so it can be seen. Right, so you can kind of see these things in action. So I'll sit here and I'll talk through the thing. I have my graphic on the next screen, and we're going to talk about making different overlays, and my commercial comes on without me touching anything. I just keep talking, don't let it pause. It's just kind of a call to action to work. And then after another 15 seconds, it'll go back to that first scene and start the process up for me again. Yeah, so the green one. Okay, I can show you how to do that magic move one. Let me jump out of this. Let's go out of all right, let's go up here. Keynote. Okay, you're about to see a big moray pattern. All right, so Keynote, and let's get out of this live demo mode. Okay, so the screen is cleaner now. All right, the magic move one. Okay, so here we are in Keynote again. The way magic move works is, I'll start over. All right. The way Magic Move works, you have to have at least 2 slides. You have your original slide, you copy the slide, and then change those same elements on the second slide. And Magic Move does everything in between, right? So here we go. So here's Magic Move. We're going to make a square again and format, make it blue. Let's put the background, no fill. All right. So we're going to start off with our square. Copy that slide. And now for the second slide, we're going to make all the changes. So I'm going to stretch it out. And I'm going to add my text to it. Okay, so first slide, second slide, right? I go back to the first slide and I go to animate, add an effect, magic move, because I'm adding the effect to the slide, not the items on the slide. I'm letting Keynote figure that part out. All I'm saying is the first slide looks like this, the second slide looks different, do the animation for me. So I pick magic move, and as you see here, it automatically made the animation for me. So all I have to do now is export this as a transparent background video or HEVC file, and that's the magic move. It's as simple as that. So on the second slide, I can even change the color. And Keynote makes all the changes for me, right? Go back to animate, and I'm gonna preview magic move. See how it changes color also? It handles all the parts for me. What you have to make sure you do is anything you want to have dynamically changing, you have to edit that item on the slide. So this is the first slide, I copy that. And basically when I copy it, it's that same item again. I just move that item, and now Magic Move does all the middle pieces. So hopefully that was helpful about the magic move one, right? And when I export this, I exported all the slides as one animation. I don't export just a single slide. I export all the slides as one animation. And then you're done. That's it. All right. Not sure what you're saying here. How do you play the commercial folder during your main scene broadcast? Oh, I mean, when you're in the folder, you can make folders of all your scenes, and that first scene is your main scene, right? The second scene is your commercial scene. And because those are the only two scenes in that folder, the timer makes them rotate. When you hit the bottom of something in a folder, it's going to jump back to the first thing in the folder. That's what's kind of cool about it, right? Because if these were just kind of floating in my scene list, it would just keep going down to whatever the next scene was. A scene that I made up that I might be using next week, a scene from last week. It's going to keep going down the list. But when you put them in folders, those timers only rotate the stuff that's in that folder with it. So I hope that kind of clears that up for you. You basically make a folder for your broadcast and put all your scenes in it, and it'll rotate through them. Hey, what's up, Ian? Good to see you, man. A friend from across the pond over there. Let's see. More of a tech question, copying eCamm assets from a desktop to a laptop. Your scenes, you can just click those and drag them off onto your desktop. And then whatever that little thing that you drag off to your desktop, put it on your laptop. You can, what am I trying to say? AirDrop it to it, put them all in the folder, zip it up and email it to yourself. Yeah, but all you got to do is you can just grab the folder of stuff in your scenes folder. Just click on the scenes folder and drag it to your desktop and it saves it. Oh, let me do this. I turn off all my desktop icons. All right. Yeah, so I turn off my desktop icon so you don't see it, but let me drag this over here. I wonder if I could put it in the screen next to it. See this thing right here? This is just me clicking on a folder in my eCamm and dragging it to my desktop, and it saves a file. Like in this case, I have a folder called BV Teaches Plain because I have some of my basic overlays and stuff in it. And it's called BV Teaches Plain .eCamm Live and put that extension on it. So now when I open up my eCamm on my laptop, I just drag that that graphic or that document on top of my eCamm, and it creates that folder and opens up all the stuff in it. So you can do it that way. So it's fairly easy. Hopefully that was helpful. Just click a folder, drag it to your desktop. It saves it as an eCamm file. Grab that, drag it to your other eCamm. I'm not sure about reorganize my board. Are you talking about your control panel up here? Yeah, I have a tutorial file that talks about how to best set up your toolbar for making video graphics. So please go check that out on my YouTube channel. But I'm going to go right here, view, customize toolbar, right? And I talk about which tools are best and things like that to put across the top of your screen up here. This is not the default toolbar for Keynote. I made this toolbar so it'd be easier to make video graphics. So, but I have a full tutorial on that, and I explain each of the buttons that I suggest you use in your toolbar. So please go to my channel and look for that, and that'll help you out. All right, let's see. Yeah, the default way that I export graphics from Keynote used to be, and I'm going to start doing a different way now, but used to be Apple ProRes 4444, and that is a video file. Transparent videos that you export from Keynote won't have sound in them. Native overlays, which are transparent background movies, cannot have sound in eCamm. But if you do them as a WebM file, and I'm not sure if HEVC files can or not, because I haven't tried to export HEVC files. But WebM files can have audio. So if you make a Apple ProRes 444 file from Ecam, from Keynote, and it has a sound in it, then take it to, there's a website, different websites that actually convert to WebM. Run your Apple ProRes 4444 through that WebM conversion site. It will hold on to the sound. And now that WebM document, if you bring it into Ecam, will keep the sound. Hopefully that wasn't too convoluted. Make it in Keynote with the sound, export it, open it with a converter, convert to WebM, it should hold on to the sound. Yes, but native Apple ProRes 444 files that you bring into Ecam will not have sound. And the native overlays in the older Ecam, now that it's been upgraded, not upgraded, but yeah, I guess it's been an upgrade. Yeah, it's been upgraded to now be able to use WebMs and different kind of things like that. WebM overlays can have sound. Apple ProRes overlays cannot have sound. Awesome. Appreciate that. Cool, Ian. Glad that was helpful. All right, y'all. We're starting to round the corner. We're about 10 minutes away. Hopefully I've been helpful to you guys. Let's jump back to full screen here. All right. Thank y'all for coming out and hanging out with me. Add your chat back to the screen here. Yeah, so if there's any more questions about anything, let me know what you might be working on. Appreciate you guys trusting me with your time and coming to hang out with me. Oh, someone asked a little while ago, and I'm not embarrassed to say, they asked about my video because they like the video quality and all that kind of stuff, right? I am still using an older, very old Canon camera, a Canon T2i, as a matter of fact, which is now discontinued. And I just bought a 24 millimeter prime lens that I added to it yesterday, right? And as you can see, I am really liking my visuals. I like how this looks. So it's all good. Appreciate the super chat, Dr. Elo, but I'm not monetized yet, so I don't know where that's going to go. Oh, if you did it on the Ecam site, I'm sure they appreciate you over there for that. Yeah, I'm actually dual purposing Ecam Live and Restream Studio. I'm in both of them right now. And I love it. It's like an awesome marriage of products, right? So yeah, so you get all the cool bells and whistles from Ecam, and then you get to spread them out throughout the world with Restream. So yeah, but I definitely appreciate the super chat, Dr. Elo. But I think you probably just made a donation to Ecam. Yeah, the effort does count. It is much appreciated. I thank you so much for that. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So yeah, I thank you all for coming out today. If there's any more questions, I am here. We still got 10 minutes left, and we're making that final turn. Getting a little hydration here, so we're good to go. Yeah, so I am just kind of here, seeing what you guys need. The magic move is an awesome thing if you think through different ways it can be used. The magic move is an awesome tool for kind of set it and forget it a little bit animations. Now, you don't know what you're going to get all the time, right? But you can kind of anticipate what's going to happen when you make different types of edits to your objects, right? And let's actually jump into that real quick because I want to show you guys a couple more things with Magic Move. Because Magic Move is an awesome option. Here we are. So Magic Move is an awesome option if you are doing different things and you don't want to kind of figure out the ins and outs of all the different kind of animation stuff, right? So we have this animation of the box that turns into a long box with that on it. You could also go back here and let's say I have a star. Right, so the star is here, but now I need to copy that star because I need the same star on the next screen. You don't want to make new elements. You want to edit existing elements, right? So I'll go here and go to arrange. I'm going to rotate it a little bit. So now if I did the magic move, preview it, right? So as long as you keep editing the same items, you can't make a new item. You have to edit existing items. And what is going to happen based on where it was in the first slide and what it was doing, Keynote will make adjustments to make the animation to where it goes in the second slide, right? So let's go back to the first slide again. We're going to add something else. And I'm going to copy that. And we'll go here. We'll paste it. And we're going to make it bigger. And we'll make that green. And we'll push it to the back. Right? You can just kind of experiment with all this kind of stuff, right? Animate, preview. Right? So Magic Move does all the in-between stuff for you. And you can let Magic Move do all the animation, right? So that's what's cool. So let me see something real quick. You're making me think about something. Let's go to the second one. And I'm going to put this shape. And let's put a format, put a color on it. And I'm going to cut this shape out of the first shape. Format, shapes and lines, subtract shapes. Put that back on top. Now let's see what Magic Move does. Who knows what it's going to do now? Because the object was completely changed. See, so that's the kind of stuff you got to watch out for. Right? So you can kind of do that and experiment and play with it. And you can build animations by letting Keynote animate the things for you. So yeah, so that's definitely a way to kind of explore Magic Move. Magic Move is a great option for doing some kind of built-in animations and just kind of seeing what, what Magic Move will create for you. Yeah, this is all Keynote. This is all Keynote that I'm using right now. You're watching me through Restream, but the video you see that you're watching me through is eCamm. So far today, I've used eCamm, Restream, and Keynote. No one asked any Canva questions, so I didn't answer any Canva questions. Yep. All right, let's see. Let me scroll back, y'all, to see if I missed any questions. That is too awesome. Somebody's from Sweden and from California. Thank you for coming. Some more UK folks. Nashville. Aurora, Colorado. Mississippi. Georgia's in the house. We got people from everywhere. Thank y'all so much for coming and hanging out with me. South Africa. Okay, Inglewood, California, Virginia. I really appreciate you all coming out, spending your time with me. It means a lot that you let me serve you this way. And I will schedule the next one so you're not surprised like you were this time. All right. Okay, y'all, we are 5 minutes out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see if, I think I've scrolled through all the questions and answered all the questions. All right, so let me know if you have any more questions before I cut out for the day. eCamm, Puerto Rico's in the house. Hey, Puerto Rico. Yeah, if you have any Keynote questions, eCamm questions, Canva questions. Nobody asked the Canva question today. I'm doing more Canva tutorials now. They're pretty fun. I just did another series of Canva tutorials mixed in with Restream, which was pretty fun to do. And I'll be jumping back onto Canva stuff soon. Okay. Okay. It was when I was sharing the screen, the camera I was using didn't appear. I'm guessing didn't appear on the desktop. Unless you're doing a picture-in-picture, you may only be sharing the screen. Also, you may have to set the camera overlay and make sure it's not under something else, right? So when you're looking at your overlay palette and you have a camera overlay, make sure it's the topmost thing, right? Also, yeah, there's a preference where you can set to make sure that your camera is on top of overlays. So you have to kind of watch those things, right? Because when you went to your screen share, you may not have had a camera on with the screen share. So that might be why it disappeared. You may have to re-add that as a camera overlay. How do I schedule my broadcast? Depends on where you're talking about. In eCamm, you can schedule your broadcast, and there's a schedule link. Not StreamYard. Restream, you can schedule your broadcast through the events. Is it events? I think it's through the events link. No, the scheduler. So you can schedule your broadcast. You can't schedule more than a week out. But you just put the schedule where you want it to broadcast to, add your thumbnail, set the time, and let it go, right? You can come back right before your broadcast, jump in, get everything ready, then hit live, and you will go live where your scheduled post was at, right? And so that's what's pretty cool. So people kind of know where you are because the scheduled post turns into your live video. So that's why it's always good to schedule. But eCamm has a scheduler, Restream has a scheduler. But like I said, eCamm, you're going to schedule to go to one spot. You can't schedule to one spot, then schedule to another spot, then schedule to another spot if they're at the same time. You can only go on in one location at a time. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to say. I mean, it could have been a camera over. I mean, it could be anything, but just kind of watch that. When you go to screen share, and I'll go to screen share. When you go to screen share, your camera becomes a camera overlay. That's how I did mine, right? I added myself as a camera overlay in a bubble. And that's what I call it, actually, me in a bubble. So you might want to do that, right? Do your camera overlay. I mean, do your screen share as a scene, then add a camera overlay, right? And then you can place your camera as a PIP wherever you want it, picture in picture, wherever you want it, right? Okay, hold on a second. Let me see what you're saying again. Okay, no, what I mean is like I was trying to put the preacher, but the computer camera was the one on computer. Okay. What you do then, and let me go back. I can do another screen share real quick so I can help you out since we're kind of rounding that final corner. Okay, what you want to do then is live demo mode. Okay, so what you want to do then is I'm going to go to screen share. So here I am screen share. Nope, that's not it. Here I am screen share, right? And here's my camera. If I right click on the camera, I can edit the overlay. And now I can pick what camera I want to show up in that spot. That's probably what you were missing because your computer camera may be your default camera, right? So whenever you add a camera overlay, it's going to put that one in the overlay first as your first option. So you want to go to, okay, let me click off of it. You want to right click on the camera overlay, go to edit overlay, then pick what camera you want, right? And also here I have other guest options because right now my computer doesn't have a built-in webcam. So a camera that I hook into my computer is always my primary camera, which is my Canon T2i, my DSLR. So I'll never have that problem. Well, I don't have the problem that you had because I don't have two cameras always hooked up, right? An external camera and my built-in camera. So you want to just make sure, right click, edit, and pick that camera. And that should fix your problem. Because probably what happened, you made a camera overlay and went to your default camera, which is not the camera you really wanted. And then you might not have thought about how to switch them. So hopefully that helps with that. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. All right. Yep, there you go. Okay. Yeah. It's just those little details like that. Your computer camera is your default camera because it's the one that's always connected, right? So camera overlay, right click, edit, and then pick the camera you really want to be in that spot. Glad I could help. All right, y'all. It has been an hour. Thank y'all for giving me your time today. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. It has been my pleasure. Until next time, I am Bradley of Bradley Teaches, better known as Alana's Pawpaw. Be blessed, be free, y'all. And I see another message coming in. I don't want to leave you hanging. Okay, cool. That is a great way to end it by someone saying they were helped. I appreciate that. So have an awesome day. Y'all keep creating. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Until next week, see y'all soon. Bye-bye.